Hey, what's up guys? Tugi here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory. The Washington Capitals are Stanley Cup champions. I had to say it one more time before we move on. It is time to go through the next draft. It is time to take care of the next offseason to set this team up for potentially another run. It is still just so tough to say what this team is going to be in, what this team is going to be year in and year out. But of course, this year was a very magical run for us. And I'll admit off the top, normally I don't like mentioning other series of mine too much, especially with what might have happened, because I can't guarantee that the next episode will be up alongside this one. But I'm recording this after the most recent episode of Bork's Battalion. I think it would be episode 33. It might not be up yet, but boy, when it is, you might understand why I am not exactly in the mood for this episode to go poorly. I need a little bit of a pick-me-up here. So we need this draft to go incredibly well. Fingers crossed that will be the case, as it's so weird seeing guys like Justin Falk and Kuznetsov retiring at age 38. But we will take care of the trading block here as well, so that I don't get bombarded with trades, and actually we're good to go. Alright, sweet. I don't know what to expect with this draft, as always. We have quite a few picks that we managed to acquire, and I'm actually not sure how many picks we have in general. We'll double check here before getting into this. And I have to admit, this episode might stop at the start of the next season. I'm not entirely sure if I want to sim the entire year. I might, and in that way, if we have the playoffs, we'll just do one big playoff run. I'm not sure how I want to handle it moving forward. We'll figure it out. But anyway, the 2030 draft, and indeed we have quite a few picks. So let's see, we have our first, we have Montreal second, 3 third-round picks, quite a few fourths, actually 4 fourth-round picks. So the hope is that we can find anybody here that can help this team out. We'll take a look at the top 5, see if there's a guarantee. You have Bure, Montoya, Hamonic, Zubov, and Mathot. 4 defensemen and a goaltender. This goaltender is going to be high elite. That's my guess. Theo Hamonic. He'll be high elite, if not better. You see a goalie inside the top 5, he is guaranteed to be great. And there's actually 3 goalies inside the top 10. It's a good thing we don't need goaltending help with Steven Quirk. Of course, our first round pick is going to be a dead last, but hopefully we can make the most of it and at least find somebody medium top 4, medium top 6. That is the hope. Although Minnesota just swung and missed with a low top 4 defenseman. Let's take a look here, though, and see. Bure, the defenseman, was high elite. Hamonic was high starter. A little bit lower than I would have expected, but that's still pretty good. Bure, would be interesting to see if his name's Valerie, but that's a pretty damn good pick. High elite defenseman there. Greffe? Comfefe? I have no idea. Let's see who's on the board for us here with the last pick of the first round, and the pick does seem kind of obvious. We have a power forward, Brad DeMaio, played for the Flint Firebirds. We have Patrick Bielis, a defenseman, Xavier Lundmark, and then one guy that we actually have information on, Francis Rankin, played for the Hamilton Bulldogs. He's a playmaker. There's another guy just outside of the first round in Victor Cashman. But yeah, he's pretty much our best bet. And then fingers crossed with Montreal's pick that we get one of these. Either of these 2 defensemen would be nice in the second round. But let's go with Victor Rankin, hoping for medium top 6. Low top 6 would really suck. But let's do it. We gotta hope for the best here. Of course, we'll have to scroll all the way back through, unfortunately. But let's see. Medium top 6. There we go. Okay, at the very least, our first pick in the first round went well, so that's good. We'll sim to our next pick. We'll have the Montreal pick first. The question is, when is it? And it is 13th in the round. A couple of decent players went before this pick, so fingers crossed once again. Here in the second round, as far as players that we have scouted out, 2 defensemen, Saprikin and Kavanaugh. This goaltender in Warner, who might not be terrible. We do need to look into bringing another... No, actually, no, we don't. No, we don't. We have Van Kadishin. We might not have to bring anybody in, actually. So it's looking like, I mean, there is another McMuffin there. Yes, I've seen him. As far as players that we have scouted out, we have Saprikin and Kavanaugh. They're both risks. You would hope for medium top 4. It might be low top 4 at this rate. Everybody else we don't really have information on. We could take a risk on Stanley Boulerice. We could take a risk on Sam Adamski or Adamski. And then there's Ryan Linden, who at this stage would be like Trevor. Unless Trevor Linden had a kid late in life, it might even be a grandchild at this point in 2030. Let's see. Grant McMuffin. Damn. What do we go for here? So the two defensemen, we have Brendan Kavanaugh, an offensive defenseman, and we have another offensive defenseman in Stanislav Saprikin. I genuinely don't know who to go for here. A lot of you guys are probably clamoring, take the risk on a player like Todd Morita or anybody else, but I just can't do that anymore. I'm going to go with Saprikin, and we'll hope for the best medium top 6. That's not tremendous, especially considering McMuffin was medium top 6 forward. Okay, well. Grossman was low top 4. Oh, boy. Linden was medium top 6. Okay. So here's the thing. Right. Yep, okay. That's just lovely. That's just lovely. Now, see, there was no way to tell between Adamski, and Linden. We probably would have gone with Linden based on the name. Warner, I had a feeling, would be half decent, but we don't need him. The only way to do that would have been to... He'd eventually probably be traded for a pick, which is not something I wanted to do. Morita wasn't that great. I don't know. I don't feel terrible on the pick we made. Medium top 6 isn't terrible, and we made a better decision than taking Kavanaugh. Medium top 6 isn't terrible, but yeah, obviously with hindsight, there were players that we could have gone with as opposed to who we did. But hey, it is what it is. It happens. Second to third round. It wasn't a disaster of a pick anyway. Second to third round here. Yuri Korostin. We have Pekka Tuomainen. Tuomainen. I think I got that right the first time. Imagine that. We have another couple of guys here. Someone might say, hey, take a chance on Zednik Perot. Or would that be Perot? Or Perot? I have no idea. Jocelyn. But then we have this grinder, Vaclav Prokop. He's projected to go in the third round, so we might have another chance at him later. Which means... What does that mean for me exactly? Do we take the chance and hope that he's medium top 6? Do we take the chance and hope that they're better than that? Or do we go with Prokop and hope that he's medium top 9? Maybe even, might even be a high top 9 at best. I mean, there's a couple of other guys that are medium top 9 still. I'm going to take the risk here. It's a slightly off the board pick. We're going to go with Prokop as our next pick, the grinder. And damn it, again, the downside to winning the cup, we got to scroll all the way back through, and he's medium top 9. Not bad. Pretty decent. We have quite a few third round picks here. See what happens. And that's the one reason I was considering just having this be the off season, is because this draft could take quite a bit. Now, as far as who we go for next, an obvious pick would probably be Lasse Karainen. All right. Anybody else that's more of a guarantee? Not really at this stage. Yeah, we're going to go with Karainen. And again, we'll hope that he's medium top 9, which would be pretty sweet. He'll be low, though, won't he? Yep. Okay. Well, we get back-to-back picks, so that's good. But not ideal. Not ideal. You would hope you have a 2 out of 3 shot. You know, you have a 66% chance that he's not going to be low top 9. But of course he was, because that's just how this series goes for me. What do we have here? Bernd Schultz. Torsten Ledeen. We have a UC Virtanen. Jake's brother from a different mother, apparently. Evan Rathje. Boy. I'd rather not take the risk on Rathje. Just to get a chance of being low top 9. So who else do we have here, and when are they projected? I meant to sort by exact. So 4th round, 4th to 5th, 5th. Alright, so we'll have a chance to get those guys later. And we might even get some steals with these undrafted guys who might have a chance to be at least half decent. So I suppose with this pick, we need to take a chance. Who do we take the chance on? Virtanen, Rathje, Exelby. Or do we go with the likes of Ledeen, Hobbs, maybe even Langdon, just because he's the guy that we know the least about, apparently? Or do we go with Bernd Schultz, who we scouted twice? We know the least about Langdon. Let's take the risk on him and hope that it's... Okay, well, it's just as bad as the other pick before it, I guess. So we missed out on Sunkfist. I'm not pronouncing his name. Ledeen was medium top 9. Schultz was medium top 9. Well, the third round is just going wonderful for me right now, isn't it? Isn't it? Lovely. What do we have here? There was someone projected to go in the 4th round. I kind of want to make sure that I get him. I know we have four fourth round picks. Cesar Lewis. Right. Or Cesar. Do I take another risk on a player we don't know much about? And Willie Scrimes, although we did scout him twice. Yeah, it's tough to say, man. It is tough to say. AHL bottom 6 forward and Lassi Pakashalati. Jesus, I'm not picking him for the sole reason of I don't want to pronounce that name again. Dustin Wesley. Is your name Darian? It's David. If your name was Darian, I would have drafted you. Or Kevin, but it wasn't. Let's go and take a chance on UC Virtanen or Rathje. Let's go with UC Virtanen. Low top 9, right? Again, we got to scroll all the way through. Hey, medium top 9. All right, well, we at least ended the 3rd round on a somewhat decent note, so that's good. Hooray for that. 4th round, 4 picks here. Let's see if we can at least get our hands on that exact guy. Wow, we had to wait until the 21st pick. And Cesar Lewis ended up being low top 9 anyways, so I guess that's good that we avoided him. Which means, who do we take here? Quite a few options as far as high bottom 6 forwards. We have another exact, which just burned us, but Michel Fortier that we could take. All right. At this point, I should almost start picking off whether or not I like their names. Michael Naslund. We have Serge Daze. We have a Happy Boolem. We have a Tutu. Larry Tutu. And we have Pascal Renaud. Renewed? Renewed. Renaud. I have no idea. I don't really care. Who to go with? Do I go with the exact or do I take another risk on the high bottom 6 players? We have a two-way forward in Pascal Renewed. Larry Tutu, power forward in Korobov. Vyacheslav Korobov. Let's take a renewed Pascal. Wish I didn't pick you. Never again. I'll immediately trade you, dick. Let's go for Korobov next. Hooray! Hey, he was at least medium top 9. That's good. Wow, we had 3 straight picks. I should have double checked. What are the odds of that? And of course, we'll have the 30th pick. So I guess next we'll take Tutu, the last guy projected in the 4th round. Actually, do we really need defensemen at this stage? That I'm not sure of. You know what, just in case, yeah, we'll take him. Larry Tutu is awful. Oh boy, I'm not going to make the same old complaints. My thoughts on the draft system at this point are very clear. Let's take 40A next. And we'll hope for the best. Medium top 9, please. And it's going to make me wait for it. Let's see. Alright, well, okay. Some inconsistencies as far as the exact potential guys and what they've actually ended up being. But overall, another half-decent pick. Not the greatest draft for us, of course. And boy, this pick's just going to be fun to make. We apparently have nobody scouted. Awesome. 5th to 6th round. What the hell? Who am I supposed to take here? This is ridiculous. What the hell? I mean, we have 2 guys left projected as bottom 6. One is a high 7th. And then we have these 3 exact potential guys we could take at the end of the draft. Oh my god. So at this stage, I pretty much just have to take a risk. I mean, there's an enforcer. Oh, this guy at least has high league interest. He's apparently the only one. You have Norena with some. I guess I'm going to take the guy that actually has a league interest in Nico Ylönen? Ylönen. Would it be Ylönen? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that, and we'll take him. Fuck it. We'll hope for the best. Low bottom 6. Oh my god. Well, this draft isn't exactly what I was hoping it would be. Whatever happened to my draft luck in the Vancouver series? Whatever happened to that? Those days were fun. Where just magically every pick turned... Or not every pick, but most picks turned out to be incredible for us. Where's that luck? We could have had a dynasty by now. I have no idea who to take with this next pick. I could go with a goalie as an easy selection. I might even just... You know what? I'm going to let the game pick for me. Nope, I didn't mean to make pick again. Damn it. I'm going to let the game choose for me. EA, do me a favor here, would you? Medium 7th. You know what? That's not as bad as it could have been. Thank you, EA. I'm going to let them make this pick too, because I have no idea. Low top 9, Norena, who is probably somebody I was looking at picking. We'll send to our next pick here at 30. And again, I'm going to let EA make this pick because it's going to be all the same players on the board pretty much. Let's see what EA managed to do for me here in the 5th round. 2 low top 9 guys. 3 low top 9 guys. Or yeah, 2 low top 9 guys and a medium 7th defenseman. Alright. Well, let's hope the options are better here. That enforcer ended up being medium bottom 6. He wouldn't have been the worst player to take. Let's see what we can get here. We have 1 pick in the 6th round. As far as scouted out players, it's pretty much just a guess. So we're going to probably go off the board here with Toby Skilly. And we'll hope that he is half decent. We'll find out in one moment. Let's see. Toby Skilly. Surprise, surprise. Low potential. Yep. Okay. At this stage, I'm tempted to just say, okay, we'll scout out like only the WHL. Because at least that way we should have all the information on everybody. Oh my god. Who do we take here with our last pick? Mr. Irrelevant. Will it be... Let's see, do we want a low 7th player or hopefully a medium top 2 player? That's the question. Do we want the guaranteed low 7th potential George Como? Or do we want the hopefully at least medium top 2 defenseman in John Yip? We're going to take Mr. Yip. We're going to hope for the best, and he was medium AHL top 2. I'd rather have that than low 7th. Overall, a pretty shit draft for us, I'm going to say. We had all those extra picks, had a chance to make a difference. We ended up with a lot of players that are unfortunately low top 9 as far as the forwards go. So not the greatest of drafts, but it happens. We are, and then again too, can you expect to have the greatest of entry drafts when you just won the cup and you're picking 30th in most rounds? Can you really expect that? That is my question. Now, as far as what we want to do here, and actually I was confused. Van Kadishin's in the other series. That is my fault. Whoops. It was Shen. That's who it was. I knew we took a goalie. That much for sure. We took Shen, medium 7th. He actually doesn't have to be signed for 1 more year, but we will probably sign him. We also picked up Garrett Sparks. Of course, we'll let him go. So let's see. Do I just want to sign Shen? What do I want to do here? To be honest, I might just trade away Marmanland and Kolosov. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll trade away Kolosov. And actually, I might even just... I'm just going to let him go. Oh, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to let Kolosov go. That's fine. We'll sign Shen. Apparently, the minimum contract is now 1 mil. So the league's doing all right. And we'll just sign a backup goalie, a 3rd-string AHL goalie. And that way it'll be Marmanland and Shen, and he'll get plenty of playing time next year. On defense, Ken Janes needs his first big-time contract. Who else do we have here? Erickson needs a deal. Moroza needs a deal. Yeah, I haven't even talked about how I was almost tempted. You know, I talked about in the last episode how I was almost tempted to stop the series, and that we're back. You guys made it pretty damn clear. We're just going to go the full 25 years. This is the series to do it, like I mentioned. To just go the full 25 years. and see what happens. See if we can win another cup, basically. Winquist, how much? We have $41 million in space. We're good. Winquist needs a deal. Ahonen, we might as well bring back. Dexter also needs a deal. Some of the other guys we'll worry about after. Of course, we have so many players now that are eligible to be signed. Lalonde will bring back. And then, yes, Nolan Patrick needs a deal. Rudy Yell needs a deal. Zontag, one of the heroes of the postseason, needs a new deal. We'll bring in Chorney. And we'll see who signs from there. Play it a little bit safe. We still have plenty of cap space. But I do want to be careful because some of our big names do need to be re-signed here. Let's see. James, Paul, Winquist, Shen says we have a full roster, so that's unfortunate. Ahonen doesn't want to re-sign. We'll see what we can do about that. I might have to look at letting people go, too. That's another thing I didn't really think of. So I'm glad that kind of worked out. So, on defense, if we sort that by overall, it's still looking like we'd have the same top 6. Let's see. Breland, 23 years old, medium AHL top 2. He's not an awful player, but he is someone we could look to get rid of. I don't necessarily want to buy anybody out either. Now, the only reason it says we're full is, of course, because there are RFAs and they still technically count towards the contract until we actually decide to let go of them. So the question is, do we let go of Breland? I might look elsewhere. Ahonen didn't want to stay. Now, despite being a 79, he's done really well. Like, his stats aren't even that great. But actually, no, wait, he's not the one that's done really well. I mean, 34 points is still pretty good. Who's the guy I'm thinking of that's done really well? Who the hell was I thinking of? There was one guy here. I could have sworn he was a right wing, too. Boy, I'm just losing my damn mind today. I'm sorry for that. I could have sworn Ahonen had a really good year. I think it was somebody we traded in the last episode. Or not the last episode, the episode before, where we made our moves. It was a guy that had like a 50-point season. I'm sure if you've been paying attention, you'll know exactly who I'm thinking of, and you'll call me an idiot for not remembering. I'll just let go of Ahonen. That's fine. That's fine. Malakoff, low top 9. I know that low top 9 players can turn out, but I just don't know if I want to keep him. Yakupov also needs to be signed. Oh, this is tough. This is tough because I'd rather just get rid of all the low top 9 players, you know? I'd rather just get rid of them all and allow players with at least medium potential to try and develop. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's a bit risky, but that's what I'm going to do. So Tim Liedeker is going to be let go. Liedeker, I have no idea. Poulin, medium AHL top 6. We're just going to let go of you two. You're not going to work out. Why give ice time to players who are most likely not going to work out? Malakoff, you're out. You are gone. We're going to start running this series as if it was one of the other ones, and we're just going to let go of the garbage, maybe trade away the garbage. There's no reason to hold on to them. Yakupov, though, low top 6. Nope, you know what? Can I still just out? No, I can't outright release you. Damn it. I didn't notice he was 23. I will absolutely let go of him and sign somebody else in the preseason. He is not worth keeping. Left wings. Who do we have here? Let's see, UFA. 20 years old, low top 9. You are gone. Get out. You're not good enough for our team anymore. Holt. You're also gone. Get out. We don't want you here. We don't want you. We don't need you. Gagliardi, we will look to sign. LaRock, you're out, buddy. Get out of here. Kervinen. Now, some people are going to really call this decision making into question, and that's fine. However, I stand by it. I did help. We did get to the cup, right? We made it. We won a Stanley Cup. I'm doing something right here. All right? Have a little bit of faith. Oh, ye of little faith. If you can't trust me now after winning a cup, you're never going to trust my decision-making, so I'm not going to try to please you with it. But let's see who will take the offers here. Those 3. All right. I don't necessarily want to buy anybody out, so I might have to wait a little bit. Keep in mind I still need to sign another goaltender. So let's try to sign Shen once more. UFAs, none. RFAs, none. Forwards. All right. So we're looking good. We'll be at, what, 45 contracts, which is good. And we'll figure out more of the team building stuff for, you know, just who is actually going to be on the team once we get through the offseason. Because I'll probably, again, look to trade certain players and get guys in that actually have a potential that's worth giving them ice time for. So we might take a bit of a step back this season, to be honest, because I am going to look to, you know, get those players ice time that actually deserve it. There's really no need to keep people in the lineup that are low top 9. Yes, they can still develop, but is it necessarily worth it? That's debatable. And at this stage, I'm going to say no. So for goaltenders, I forgot what Schen's... wow, there's a... Oh, he's 26. I was going to say there's a medium elite goalie that just hit the market. I forgot what Schen's overall is, but that's okay. We'll look to probably bring in another veteran, or at least a familiar name. Veterans at this point, which is hilarious, is someone like Lindgren. Casimir Kaskisuo is available. Who else do we have? Anybody that just kind of jumps off the page that I want to sign. It's not really looking like it. So, Alexander Belanger. He's 34 years old. Welcome back, at least to the AHL, buddy. You're being signed for $1 million. He's pretty much all we need. Like I said, we just need that 5th goaltender in case of injury, so that the game doesn't sign anybody for us at the AHL level. We know that he is a lower overall than Schenn. So despite me not knowing Schen's overall exactly, it was at least a 70. I do not want Vinny Hinostroza for a first-round pick. No, thank you, Philly. And hopefully teams don't keep sending me offers. That could really add on to the episode time. But yeah, considering we're nearly half an hour into this video, we'll just finish up the offseason and we'll get the team set for the next season. And who knows what that could bring. God, these trade offers really need to stop. Pittsburgh, these trade offers really need to stop. Pittsburgh, these trade offers, stop it. There should just be an option. You know how it used to happen in the old NHL games, I do believe. It still happens in FIFA, where the other team would just keep declining an offer and then eventually just say, okay, screw you, we're not talking to you anymore. That should be an option here, where it's just, nope, and we don't want to talk about it anymore. Like I said, it's an option in FIFA, where you can just flat out, for certain players, set it to, no, I am not taking any offers for this player whatsoever. Don't even talk to me about it. It's a beautiful feature that I wish we could have in this game. Now, it is partially my fault, mostly my fault, for not editing the trade block and getting that all set up, but it is what it is. By the way, I wonder how many people would have preferred me to just do all of this off screen and then be simming the next season as I speak. I wonder how many people would have preferred that. Unfortunately, that's not the way we decided to do things. But hey, it is what it is. Let's get this team set up for next year. Our title defense. What will happen? I can't wait to find out. So let's see. Quirk, Saget, you got Marmanlin. Schenn jumped up to a 77. I'll probably make him the starter since auto-rotate goalie is on. And that way, but then again, we still want the team to do well. I don't know. I'll probably make him the starter, though. Defensively, and we still have the 83s with Moroza at an 82. Did anybody make the jump? No. Unfortunately not. The defense is still looking a little bit rough. Forwards, 79. Chorney is the lowest. Is that true? Yes, it is. All right, so the lowest overall guy is Chorney at a 79 overall. Not too bad. Let's take a look at the lines as they stand before I start to make any moves. So you got Svechnikov, Patrick, and Hadobin locked in. Yell, Lalonde, and Lindquist. Wojciechowski, low top 6, which is why I'm willing to give low top 6 a chance. Low top 9, not so much. Johansson still an 80. Conley, Sontag, and Ben Dexter. Defensively, it's the same exact defense we've had for quite a few seasons now. And down in the AHL, if we go best lines just to make sure, we'll put Schenn as the starter, who could eventually take Saget's backup spot. Alright, so we do need to clear out some players here. And even someone like David Harrison, who's 24 years old and just clearly isn't going to make it, we might clear him out too. So let's go sign as many players as we can. We'll start trading away guys for picks. It's a little bit risky to not look at our options. There might be teams that are all of them are at like 48 out of 50 contract spots and they can't take another contract. So this could come back to haunt me. But I'm willing to take the risk. So goaltenders, actually hold on. We need unsigned defensemen. So who do we have here as far as potential? Low, top 4, and Bancroft, but he's 20. So I am willing to sign him. So Prekin ended up being pretty damn terrible. We do have Vitali, though, who is also 20. We'll look to bring him in. And then Peacock. That's tough. He's low top 6. He's low top 6, but he's a 73 at 20 years old. And I think I'm willing to make an exception for him. The last low top 6 defenseman, actually the last low top 4 defenseman we had didn't really pan out. So let's see, he's a 73. The other options that I'm willing to sign are Saprikin, but he's a 59. Castonguay is a 60 at 18. Watton is a 67. Both of them ineligible to be signed. And then John Yip is also Canadian. So Peacock's actually the only guy we could sign that I'd be at least willing to sign, aside from Saprikin. So, let's... Do I want to sign Peacock? Huh. You know what? Screw it. We'll sign him. I'll give him a chance. I should mention, by the way, I've held off on just trading guys. It's tough to. I know Wild's a 70 at 20 years old, but he's low 7th, right? I've been... Like, right now, I'm tempted to just trade those guys away. Eventually, I'm going to do it. It's a guarantee that eventually those guys get traded anyway. The only thing I'm still avoiding doing is stacking numerous prospects for one pick, because that way we'd get even higher value picks and it'd still be a little bit cheap. But let's see. So on defense, who do we have? Of course, we have our 2 main guys, and then from there, it really drops off. We have Paris Hogan, who is 24 years old. He's a 76. He's not going to pan out. Paul's a 76 at 23. He's not going to pan out either. So those are the first 2 players that are out the door here. There's going to be a lot of players that get traded. Can we get a 4th? We probably could. I wonder if we could get a 3rd. Let's keep looking. I didn't even see if Arizona has the space. They don't. Any other teams? Chicago? No 3rd round pick for the Blackhawks. Anybody else? Edmonton, do you have your 3rd round pick? Yes, you do. Was I right? Can we get a 3rd for Paris Hogan? No, we cannot. So let's go back to Anaheim, and we'll pick up their 4th round pick this year for Paris Hogan. So there you go. And we'll go best roster for the moment, since we don't have to worry about anything. Go back to defense, and Paul is also going to be out the door, 23 years old. Not exactly holding my breath that he's going to pan out, become anything at this point. If he was the same overall at 22, then maybe. But let's see if we can get a 4th rounder for him as well from Chicago. Yes, we can. All right. Quite a few 4th round picks already. And most of the drafts moving forward are going to be the same thing. It's going to be a lot of picks. If we hit, cool. If we don't, we'll just cycle out the players. It is what it is. The thing is, I still need to hit on those picks. Yes, there's kind of little consequence, like if I miss on a 6th rounder, but he has the value to be able to trade him for a 4th round pick. But I kept this series pretty honest up until we won the Cup. So if I kind of start drifting into a bit of a cheaper territory, I think it can be forgiven, right? I mean, I'm not going overboard with being cheap here. Although the fact that Peacock does have decent value, same as Person, makes me wonder if I should keep them. Bancroft as well has really good value. I guess low top 4 and low top 6 are worth keeping. I guess. That means should I have let go of all those medium top 9 players? Maybe, maybe not. And that's the thing, just because they have good value doesn't mean that they're going to pan out. We had other players that had really good value, at least comparable value, that didn't really pan out. So it is what it is. I mean, obviously someone medium 6 is going to be a bit more of a guarantee, although in fairness, Kwong seems to have the same value as Peacock. Bancroft, not so much. But, all right. So Reardon, 70 overall, 22. Oh yeah, you're gone. You are gone. See if we can get a 4th round from Edmonton for you. They're apparently trading Frank Vetrano, which is a shame, and they don't have their pick. LA, do you have your 4th round pick? Yes, you do. And we get a deal done. Say goodbye to Reardon. Who else do we have now on defense? Let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As I knew, I should have known that. 13. So just 13 guys signed? Indeed it is. So, that's fine. I would like 1 extra depth player. And that might be where Saprikin comes in handy. We could also sign Tutu. He's a 66. Anybody else? Alright. So we'll go sign... Yeah, we'll sign Tutu. He's 7 overall points better and a year older. The potential isn't as great, but we need 1 extra depth player in case of injury. So let's go sign Larry Tutu, who we just drafted. Again, he's not great. I might technically right now be suffering from regret over letting some of those low top 9 guys go, but in the grand scheme of things, I really don't think it's going to make too big of a difference in this series. Larry Tutu. We'll sign you up for now. You're someone who will probably be traded away next year once we get better options. And then forwards, we'll sign whoever we can. We got a 76 overall, 20 years old, 76 overall with high top 9. That's pretty good. High top 9, high top 6. I have that top 9 number stuck in my head, I'm sorry. So we'll sign him up. We also have Daly, who is a very solid signing for us. Boleris. Do we go for Bol? Yeah, he's 20. I think Vertanen was the Finn. Huh. Let's go for Boleris as well. And from there, we're good to go. We'll have to look at trading away some more prospects. The real fun side of any series is doing something like this. But as I've said, if I have to do this anyway, I might as well just make it into a video. And if it's not the most exciting thing, I'm sorry. I know quite a few people do like to, see everything when it comes to a series. So, not all that concerned. See, we got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, count along with Tougie, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31 forwards signed. Damn. We need 24, 26, or 7 in fairness. So we got to get rid of, to be safe. So we need to get rid of 4 or 5 players here. Question is, who is that going to include? We have low top 6 and Riley. I'm kind of looking for some of the older players. Hilpert's gone, 70 overall, 22 years old. He is out the door. So Hilpert will be the first guy traded. We'll try to send him to San Jose. And most likely we'll only be able to get a 4th round pick. But that's okay. We will try for the 3rd. They want to trade it. Actually, this would be a good chance to get a 3rd. Didn't go. See, you never know. That was our best shot. We'll get a 4th round pick for Hilpert. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be cheering in the streets. By the way, I did want to look at their team because they had some guys who had pretty crazy value. Wow, Taylor Radish. Holy shit. 34 or 32 years old, 94 overall. Elias Anderson, Riley Tufte. Good Lord, that top line. No wonder why Riley Tufte has done so well in this series. All right, we're down to 30 forwards. We got to cut 3 or 4 more. 3 if we have a hard time in finding players to get rid of, which might actually happen. Let's look for overall first. We get down into the lower players. Boleris, Gagliardi, Yakupov. I said I'd probably trade him. That is indeed going to be the case. Where can we send him? We'll try for LA. Might have to take a 5th round pick for him, but I'm willing to do it. Can we somehow sneak a 3rd round pick out of this? Wow. All right. Well, we got a 3rd round pick for Dmitry Yakupov. Didn't think that would happen, but it did, and I am not complaining. Down to 29 forwards. Who's next that we're getting rid of? Who is next? I wish I knew. Who do we have here? I'm looking at age and potential for the most part. Mikanov can stay. Harrison at 24. He is gone. Where can we send him? Actually, we could send him to LA and end up getting that fourth overall pick. Or fourth overall pick. I wish, the 4th round pick. Never mind, it's already gone. Edmonton, do you have your 4th? No, you don't. You have a 3rd, though. How does a 3rd sound? No? Okay. Well, shit. Is there anywhere else? Chicago, did they have their 4th? No, we already got that, too. We might have to settle for a 5th round pick. Yeah, let's do it. 5th round pick for Harrison. That's fine. We just need to get rid of him, and we'll get any little bit of a return that we can. Is he the last guy that I feel comfortable in trading away? At least at first glance. I mean, we do have some other guys like Johansson, but he had a pretty decent season for the most part. Dexter we wouldn't want to get rid of. Yeah, he was pretty much the last guy that I'd actually want to get rid of. Let me take a look at trade values, and that's Johansson, Zontag, and Conley. At the very bottom there. Alright, so do I get rid of them? Or do I just have more scratched players than I need? And you can look at the stats. Mainly for Johansson, that 88 offensive awareness is pretty helpful. Don't exactly want to get rid of anybody there. So, for the moment, let's just get the team set up again. We'll see what it looks like. And we will take it from there. So, once again, we add, at least 1 3rd round pick, a ton of 4th and 5th round picks, which kind of get that vicious cycle going, but it's not going to be anything like the Red Wings series where we have this, this incredible amount of talent that we keep cycling through. So we need to send down Peacock, Vitale, and Bancroft. Forwards, 78 overall Dexter. Although Gagne did jump to a 79, so let me see who it puts into the lineup. We'll actually call up all of these guys. That might end up backfiring, honestly, though. It might take someone like Conley out of the lineup. So let's just go with the highest overall guy in Jerome Gagne. Do we have any players that are listed as 4th line forwards either? No, we don't. Okay. So let's see what this team looks like, man. 42 minutes into it. Yeah, there's no way we were simming this season in this episode. So it puts Gagne in on the 4th line with Zontag and Conley. Like I said, those two, we could trade these two. They're not terrible players, right? But there's a reason why. And you know what? Here, let me double check. Why not? Like I said, we're pretty much almost done with this episode. If I call up Naslund, Fashaud, and Dexter, and I know I'm just probably butchering that guy's name, and I apologize for it. But if I call up these 3, what are the odds that Zontag and Conley end up being scratched? That's my question. And if they are, does that mean we should trade them? And it was just Conley. Just Conley. Zontag being a grinder probably helps him. But it ends up putting Naslund and Dexter into the lineup. Now, I could, but you look at Conley's stats. How did he do last year? 25-point season, had a 50-point season, and a 69-point season in 2027. Definitely capable. He was on the 2nd line, I believe, around that time, though. So that would explain it. So let's see. Those are about 22 years old, medium top 9. Dexter's 21, low top 6. Naslund is medium top 9 at 21. Not that I want to get rid of Zontag, but would it make sense to get rid of him? Torsten Johansson, I don't exactly want to get rid of either. Decisions. Because, again, we do have too many forwards signed at the moment. I honestly expected to have a more difficult decision with who to get rid of. But it wasn't that difficult, really. So, alright, let's do that again. Forwards, do I have 1 too many signed? Or are we good? No, that's good. Not 1 too many signed, but 1 too many on the NHL roster is what I meant to say. So again, we'll go best lines. Down in the AHL, we'll go best lines. So how many scratched players do we have? We have Kamachi, Daly, Boulerice, and Mikanov. Preferably, we'd only have 2 or 3, as I mentioned, with Lundestrom and Tutu as the scratch defenseman. So let's see, that means Kwong, Peacock, Vitale, Gardner, Persson and Bancroft were put in, which is fine. You could argue defensively putting in Lundstrom, which would probably be a good bet. Only a 67 overall, which is why he's not currently in. Maybe it wouldn't be too bad having him as the first guy, the 7th defenseman, who steps up in case of injury. And forward-wise, is there anybody that I want to get rid of? I mean, there isn't, but I could trade somebody who I don't want to get rid of and end up getting a half-decent pick out of it. That's the other factor at play here. I mean, we do have some, talented players that aren't too far away from the NHL level. So odds are someone like Conley would be traded anyway. Gagne has at least 3.5-star defense. Yeah, it would still make sense to get rid of 2 more players at least. It would still make sense. I think Conley's going to be that first guy out. It made sense to have him on the first line. Or on the second line, I should say. But since he's not there anymore, his point production's dropped, and that's just going to continue to be a trend. Now, Zontag and Torsten Johansson, do we want to make room for other players that could benefit more from that ice time? Zontag's the guy I at least want to trade because he's so solid defensively. Johansson, as a third liner, that offensive production is nice. And he did pretty well for us in the playoffs. He had 43 points last year. He had 7 points in 20 games in the postseason. But that's his ceiling. That's what he's locked into. He's an 80 overall at best. So I think we're going to get rid of Johansson and Conley here. And we'll give that ice time to some younger players. Just makes sense to do. And hopefully we benefit for it in the future because, of course, we're still trying to build this team back up ever so slightly. We're still trying to make those improvements. Nolan Patrick is 31. Until he retires, our window is not closed. So we need to keep fighting. But Johansson off to Chicago. We'll probably send Conley to Edmonton. Maybe I don't think they even had their 4th round pick. It'd be another 5th, I believe. No, they are. We already got that 5th too. Can we get a 3rd? No, there's no way. There's no way. What am I thinking? Can I get the 4th round pick next year for Conley? No, I can't. Can I get the 5th round pick next year for Conley? Yes, I can. All right, so unfortunately, Clint Conley is gone. A lot of old faces having to be moved out for the betterment of this team heading into the future. Now, as far as the scouting goes, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on, let me get the team set, and I'll double-check with the scouting what regions are, and a lot of people have been telling me to do this, and I understand why, but I just haven't. And that's, obviously we have that advantage, using the mode, or just in the mode, to see what players are projected to actually go where. So instead of wasting time scouting a region that might not pay off for us, it might make sense. But then again, typically in every region, there's at least someone who might go in the 4th to 5th round, and that's where we're probably going to have to do our damage, because we're not going to get those high-end players because we're more than likely going to be a playoff team. It's a tough decision, man. Every positive you can think of, there's always a yeah, but to counteract it. So let's see. Naslund, Dexter. We'll go best lines to see who the game puts there, and then the odd man out will be sent down. And then this team will be good to go. Especially now that we know that Zontag will stay. So best lines... And the odd man out is Philippi Fichaud. He's out. We'll be sending him down. He will get top line time, though, you would assume, with the Hershey Bears. So that'll be good for him. Let's send him down. We'll go best lines one more time for like the dozen. I mean, it's been about a dozen amount of times now that we've done it. He does get top line time, which is pretty sweet. Scratched players, you have Daly and Boleries, Tutu, and Lundstrom. Which is pretty good, again, as far as someone who would want to take out of the lineup in favor of Daly. He is a 72. I could take Gagliardi out of there for him. Which, to be honest, best lines might change, because if I see someone's not a very good center, I could change them. But then again, are we late enough into the series? I think we are, where changing someone's player type can screw up their age. I don't know if that's still a thing this year. That was a thing in 16 Yeah, and 16 last year. I keep almost saying 17 because, of course, with the NHL 18 news on the horizon and a little bit we've already gotten. But, yeah, I don't think I'll take the risk. So we'll just put Len Daly into the lineup. And then the other two are bottom 6 guys, correct? Yes, they are. Lundstrom, medium 6. Who would we put him in for? It would most likely be Persson. 73 overall. Yeah, let's do it, though. Let's do it. It makes sense to get him that ice time. And Persson will be the first guy we put into the lineup. In case of injury, we will still go with the highest overall guys, though. Who has the best shot? That'd be Calvin Kwong. We'll go with Peacock, Vitale, Bancroft, and Lundstrom. So overall, Hershey's looking decent. Will they make the playoffs? That is doubtful. Of course, they missed out last year as well. But still expecting them to be able to have a decent season here. And let's see, do I really want to do this live and focus on working these lineups properly? Not really, but I will. Not really, but I will. There we go. It's not going to be too difficult to take care of. We'll just go with the best overalls on the highest lines. And goaltender, one last time, we'll have Shen as our starter. We'll see what he can do if Hershey really starts to struggle. Easy enough, we put Marmanland into the lineup. But let's take a look at the overall grades for both of these teams. And actually, since we're at the start of the year, and I know people care about this sort of thing, let's set the captaincies, shall we? Let's finally set the captaincies, especially too after Nolan Patrick didn't raise the captain as the cup. Oh my god, thank god this episode's almost over. Didn't raise the cup as the captain. Now, Nicholas Naslund is a presence, but we don't really have anybody that's a locker room leader, so we'll just set it up how we would want. And we'll take captaincy off of Wheating. We'll give him an alternate. Let's see, so we have Janes, we have Hedobin, Winquist, Svechnikov. I mean, obviously Nolan's going to be the captain. There's a couple of options here as far as the letters go. I mean, Patrick is our captain, no doubt about that. But then as far as alternates go, you could argue Zontag, you could argue Svechnikov, Winquist, Yuri Hedobin, or even Ken Janes, as there currently is. You know, I think we're going to go with the gritty Zontag. And Nolan captain. My god, I am so off in this episode. I am so sorry. Damn. I'm having an off day in general, I guess. But Nolan Patrick is our captain, Zontag and Wheating. The alternates down at the AHL level, it really doesn't matter, does it? But hey, we're already here, so why not? And it'll be Kwong, Vitale, and Riley. That made it up for me. That made up my mind pretty quick there. That was pretty easy to figure it out. And damn it, I accidentally sorted it back to the NHL. Man, this episode needs to end. I am so off my game right now. It is embarrassing. But Kwong, Vitale, and Riley. Alright, let's set this up. We'll be good to go. Riley's already an alternate. Oh, wow, well look at that. The game did it for me and the game did it perfectly. How do you like that? EA, 10 out of 10. 100 on Metacritic, just for that alone. Thank you very much. Guys, that will do it for this episode. Definitely a setup episode as we prepare to hopefully defend our cup heading in to this new season. 78, 73, and 79 for the ratings in Hershey. Of course, they could be a little bit better depending on the personnel we use. And at the NHL level, 91, 90, and 95 for the Washington Capitals. How ridiculous is that, considering we have one player over a 90 overall as a forward? I told you, man. And this proves it. If anyone was wondering what I meant by the rating system is kind of screwed, that is what I meant. The rating system just really doesn't make sense. You would think, I mean, I don't know how they decide it, but you would think it would be, okay, you add up the overall from all 12 forwards, and then from there, you just divide it by 12. And there's your overall rating. So our overall rating would be pretty shit. But that's what it should be. Now, in Russia, Do we have anyone? 6th round, 4th to 5th, 3rd to 4th, 1st to 2nd. See, case in point, like all these guys could eventually factor in. So it's really not even worth it. But we will scout out. Where do we want to scout out first here? You know what? Let's head to the WHL first. We shall scout their forwards for 6 weeks. It's a tough call. You know what? Yeah, let's go 6 weeks. I'll probably just scout out the CHL leagues for 6 weeks each on each spot. And then if we can focus on Europe from there, that's fine. Europe played a big factor into the series early on because we could just get those players down in the AHL immediately. Now it doesn't need to be so much of a problem. We can have players from the CHL. You know, we can wait until they turn 20, then put them down. You get the point. Guys, I'm going to end this episode before I make an even bigger fool out of myself. Not sure how I feel about this episode in general. The draft was decent. The offseason, I do prefer these, the videos in this series to be a bit more exciting, but we'll get back to that in the next episode. So until then, which I could have just done the off-season moves, made all the trades, and showed you the activity feed since they're 1-for-1 trades. But fuck it, it's too late because I don't have time to record this episode anymore. I am out of time. I need to go to bed. Anyway, thank you guys for watching as always. If you did enjoy, leave a like. You know my whole spiel. Subscribe. Notification Squad. Tukey24 on Twitter. And I'll see you guys in the next one.